What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to the channel. So I am back with another reaction video for you guys. Now, this particular video clip comes from Jason Wilson. He is revealing some of the red flags that every man should look for when dating women. So I want to play a bit of his video for you guys. Let's go ahead and get into what he's saying. Before we do though, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed and you like the content, subscribe. It's free to subscribe. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, share and like the video, and turn on your notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. All right, let's hop into it. Here we go.
What do you do when you finally realize that the woman you're with doesn't really care about you? I'm not talking about small disagreements. I'm talking about when you finally see that you're only good to her for what you can do and what you can provide. And praise Yah, my brothers, if you can discover this before you marry her. But let's be authentic. Many of us stay with this type of woman usually because she's attractive. And since lust clouds the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain the Most High gave us to make wise decisions, we keep making excuses to stay with the pig simply because it has a gold ring in its snout.
I saw this one video where this lady was talking about, in this generation, we have created it that women can no longer be wrong. That anything a woman does can be justified and she needs no correction. And sometimes when women hear these things, they get triggered, they get angry, and they're immediately on the defense. But ask yourself this question. When you are dealing with female family members or female friends, do you experience this? Do you experience that you can't correct them without an argument, or they can never apologize for their wrongdoings?
Now listen, before we continue, I think what she said was spot on. We all have been in that position to where you can't say anything to anybody in your family, let alone anybody else. You know, you can't correct, any of the women in your family, the matriarch. You can't do it. Who knows? They might bat you in the mouth. They might, cuss you out. They're going to set you straight. You can't correct them. You can't say anything. You got to just be quiet and accept what they're saying, even if you know what they're saying isn't completely correct. And I think that is a problem. That's one of the problems that we face in society today when it comes to, in particular, our women, Black women. We see that there's no correction whatsoever. Anytime you say anything that goes against what they believe, to even just lend maybe a different perspective or a different argument or a different point of view, it's not accepted well. Shaming and blaming other people is not going to help your outcome. And we see so much of this till it becomes a frustrating thing to watch, because oh, wait a minute, we could do so much better because we've done it in the past. And that if you would change these things that have created a worse community for us, then it shows you that there's a decline in where we're headed as a whole. But it's like they don't see that, nor do they want to see it, and you just want to keep blaming a group of men, Black men, for things that you can change yourself. But if you don't want to change it and you don't want to accept any accountability, then yeah, it's easier to keep blaming somebody else, even though you're not getting desired outcomes. That's the crazy part. If you're not getting the desired outcome, constantly complaining about it, it's not going to change that. And you're not going to force men to accept the narrative that they just won't accept. Let's continue.
Like a gold ring in a pig's snout is a beautiful woman who shows no discretion. Even King Lemuel in Proverbs chapter 31, verses 10 through 31, describes a virtuous woman not by how she looks, but her characteristics. He says she is the one who is hard to find. He closes with the very words that every man needs to etch into his heart. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Most High shall be praised. In other words, don't get trapped by charm or distracted by beauty. They're temporary. But if she has reverence for Yah, humility, and is open to accountability, those qualities, my brothers, are eternal. Without them, you're simply building on the sand of emotions. And what I mean by those qualities are eternal is that If you marry a woman who doesn't have those qualities and she leads you off the path of righteousness, you won't make it to eternity with Yah. This is why it's imperative that we do not marry by sight, but marry by faith. What I mean by that is juxtapose the woman you're considering to marry by what lines up in scripture in regard to the type of woman we should become one with. I'm actually creating a study about the virtuous woman for my Patreon brotherhood. So if you'd like to go deeper and learn more about the type of woman you should be pursuing for marriage, click the link in the description below. What does it look like when a woman doesn't really care about you? What I also want you to consider is that you can be with a woman who loves you, but not necessarily like you. A woman who sees the benefit of marrying you, but doesn't really care about you, may have moments of kindness, may show you moments of her being tender towards you. She may even support you in certain ventures. But ask yourself this: does she support you in the way you ask for it, or only in the way she wants to give it? My brothers, that's not support, that's subtle control. And if she can't honor your voice in the small things, she won't honor your leadership in the greater things.
Oh, baby, listen, that is a word. That is a word. And I think it's one that I think men are paying a bit more attention to this now. This is why you find men, men are not jumping into relationships or trying to jump into marriages because they're skeptical about the type of women that are out there. I do agree with what he's saying. If you could have a woman who seemingly is there for you, but deep down she doesn't really like you or really doesn't want to be in that relationship, those type of women exist more than you think. And honestly, I think men are privy to that. Men are aware of that for the most part. But yeah, there are definitely women who will see an advantage or see an opportunity. Once again, women are opportunistic. They're going to take advantage of an opportunity and they're going to run with it. It doesn't mean that they really want that person or really care for the person. It just means that they took advantage of an opportunity and that's where they landed. And you could tell by the way they respond in the relationship. And I think what he's saying, look, you got to be cautious and careful about the women the woman that you're dating or, the woman that you marry. You have to ask yourself, is this woman really here for you? Is she really there because she wants to be with you, or she's there because it was an opportunity that, where she seized the moment and that's it? But what we do see, and I just want to add on to what he's saying, is what we do see in these type of relationships where these types of women exist, they only can last but for so long. A lot of these women can't, they either there are telltale signs to them not really wanting to be in a relationship because eventually they walk away from the relationships. We see this over and over and over again where these women say, oh, one day I just got up and I'm fed up and I was tired. And they actually, they can't thrive. They always have an issue because once again, I said this before, a lot of these women don't really want to be in that situation and they weren't there with the right intentions from the beginning. So eventually they're ready to walk away. And the moment they get another opportunity or they get, another chance to escape that and go for what they really think that they want, they'll do it. This is how you'll know if a woman is really there for you and really there with the right intentions. Because if she gets an opportunity, another opportunity that's bigger than the last, then she's going to run. She's going to take it and leave. I don't know if you guys remember where this guy did a test on his girlfriend. He faked like her ticket, like she had the winning ticket or something. And he was just seeing, testing her to see what she would do. And baby, the minute she thought she won that lottery, she was ready she did leave. She did not care. She was up. She was ready to leave, because she didn't really want to be there. If she really want to be there, in my opinion, she would have, said, oh my God, we won the lottery. We won the lottery. Let's go cash the ticket. And now we can do some things that we've been wanting to do. We can build on this. We can work together and build. No, she didn't want to build up on it because she really didn't want to be there. She was there because she had an opportunity. She seized the moment, but she was not really there in good faith. She didn't really like him, probably didn't want to really be with him, but she had an opportunity to better herself. A lot of women are only concerned about themselves. They don't care about you. They only concerned about what they can get from you. And the minute they don't need you, they on to the next. Or the minute, you know, the relationship doesn't serve them and they don't get what they want, they ready to leave, and they will leave. And so I do think, you know, this what he's saying in this video is spot on. And I just think, yeah, men really definitely need to pay attention to the red flags, because a lot of men become kind of delusional in a sense to where they don't focus on the things that they should be, because once again, if you're blinded by the booty and the beauty, that's what it is. She's so fine, she looks good, you're attracted to her, you love all that aspect of her, but you're not paying attention to the real person and who she really is. Will she be there for you if you lost everything? Is she loyal to you, or is she there because you do things for her? Because the minute you don't do anything for her, and if she's not there for the real right reasons, then she's out the door. And this is what a lot of men have unfortunately had to figure out when they're going through the divorces, when the wives decide to leave and take them for everything that they could. Then you realize this woman was never loyal to you. She never really cared about you in the first place. So listen, I'm going to leave it here. Definitely go and check out his entire video, you guys. He has a lot of good points. A lot of great things to say. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on that bell to be notified when I upload new content or go live, you guys. Let's keep the conversation going. Let me know your thoughts. Have you ever experienced a woman who you thought loved you and cared for you, but to find out, you've eventually found out that she did not care and she walked away and she showed you her true colors? Let me know in the comments. I definitely want to hear what y'all have to say. So make sure you guys chime in. I want to hear your thoughts. I will be paying attention to the comment section to get your thoughts on this and your experiences. If you've experienced this, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.